was brainwashed that it's going to be always your partner's problem. How does heart health change with exercise? So the heart's efficiency changes and improves after persistent training. See this? Efficiency improves and changes if you are persistent, meaning you continue it. It's not just for a short term, and that's what I'm trying to do with my own clients, which I'm, thank God, is doing good with it, is because they're just not for the short term. They're actually working out with me for the long term. They're actually going for it to have a healthier, effective, happy lifestyle. Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, except for sexually. All types of exercise increase the heart's overall size, but there are significant differences. And between endurance athletes such as rowers and strength athletes such as football players. The hearts of endurance athletes show expanded left and right ventricles, whereas those of strength athletes show thickening of the heart wall, particularly the left ventricle. And this is what I'm trying to tell guys. Depending on your workouts, depending on what you are training are, is what you're going to have to benefit. So you have to understand that working out is not just 1, 2, and 3. It's not just step 1, step 2, step 3. Working out is a process. And if you want it to be effective, if you want to really reach your full potential of how consistent and how good of a body you can have, I'm really, really bad at English right now. I am. I'm thinking Japanese English all at the same time. If you are doing this, then eventually whatever you're training is what you would only get. So for example, there's a lot of people coming for me and they want to train to have a booty. Training your booty, you have to basically destroy your muscle, which means you have to lift. You have to work. Of course, you're going to start somewhere. And that's why I said a process. You have to understand that your body is this type. And you have to understand that just not because you have a personal trainer or you are watching someone on YouTube, it doesn't mean that whatever that person is telling you is what you're going to benefit. It's not, because it's basically like try and does it work? We're going to have to find something for you. The end goal is if you're building a booty, you have to lift weights. You have to. There's no around it. Unless you're one of those Kardashians or one of those BBL or whatever the term that is, that you just want it fast. You want the doctor to take care of it. But is it really good? Like, be realistic about this, guys. I know there's a people out there that has a preference of that kind of weird body symmetry that is just like, I don't know if they're wearing diapers or not. But for me, I love having a body where it's not cringe. Yeah. I know it's your body. I don't care. You can have it all the thing you want. If you want to have a fake that, fake this, it's your money. I don't have anything. But for me as a personal trainer, you can do something about your booty. And booty is not just for image. It's not just because it looks good to look at. It's because that's part of your core. That's part of you walking, running, sitting, standing. It's part of the muscle group that actually makes you stand upright. So once you have lower back pain, it's because your booty, you don't have booty. You don't have muscle. You don't have strength in there. Of course you have muscles, don't get me wrong, but you don't have strength there. Your muscles are weak. It's imbalance. You're only just using your lower back. Your booty muscles, the one that actually is responsible for walking, it's weak. And that's why you have lower back pain. You have like knee pain. You have pain and aches everywhere, is because your body is imbalanced. Your muscle is not working properly. As a personal trainer, do your client ask you how to be, sex active? Well, from time to time, it depends. It depends on how I'm going to welcome the conversation. But I guess I'm just lucky. I'm just lucky that I live in Japan, where sexual harassment, it's out there. But I believe because as I've told, I'm intimidating. If I befriended a client then if they ask it in an appropriate way, or if they ask it because of information for real and not just because of the sidetrack, I just want to talk sex about you. If it's not like that, then I do welcome the conversation. But if the conversation, or if a dude or a girl, everyone is included in this one, if you're asking this to fish so that you're gonna have like a sexual satisfaction out of it and you're gonna make me uncomfortable about it, nah. I think I'm just happy that I love my dignity. At some point, I do respect myself, not in a cringy way. I just know my skill. I just know what I can offer. And if you're going to treat me not appropriately, then I'm not going to welcome that kind of conversation. But yes, sometimes we talk about it, especially with guys. Sometimes I would have conversations with hip thrusting. When you're a dude, you always thrust. Right? You agree? Okay. You're agreeing? You're nodding your head? Okay, that's good.
That's what she said.
Have you ever heard the word wear and tear? Sometimes the more you use it, if you're one of those, you're gonna have wear and tear eventually. One of the things that would actually help is building the surrounding muscles of your hip joints, which is your butt muscles. There's a lot of there in there. So if you build that, then your house would have a foundation. Your bones would have a foundation where it would stable it. It's not just the joints that are working. Your muscles are also working. If you are good at hip thrusting, and even if you're not a person that have a lot of, active days, if you're not even thrusting, let's just say that, if you're not thrusting, then also, it's gonna shorten. Your muscles in there are shortened and it's gonna go weak because you're not using them. It's the same thing. You'll just have to train it, So sometimes when it kind of like that kind of conversation, they would tell me those things like that they actually like observed that they could perform better in bed, which is an information that I want to get, especially if their goal, because whether you like it or not, guys, from time to time, I would have clients that their goal is to have stamina in bed, have to have stamina and have that cardio to keep at it kind of thing. So it's part of my training as so sometimes I have to explain it like that, but not in a very exploited way, not like that. It's like the same thing with our sexually fit guys. It's more organized. It's more information rather than just bullshitting or than just kind of like belittling someone or trying to objectify someone. We can objectify someone, but at the same time, we can actually give information that are good. So it's more appropriate and necessary to talk about. There's a lot of factors why a person would have a dysfunction. Penile dysfunction. I always wanted to say that word. But one is smoking, drinking, and bad blood flow. That's a very, very tongue twister. Bad blood flow. Then your pee-pee is because your blood is going there. And if you have bad, just means you cannot get it up. So you should probably start quitting smoking, drinking. Garbage food as well is not good for that. Stress is not good for that. There's a lot of factors. And I actually was talking about this. When it comes to these types of dysfunction, it's just something that randomly I was like thinking and pondering, if you may say that. When it comes to like sexual relationship, if you cannot function, whether you're a girl or a guy, a lot of people are brainwashed that it's their partner's problem. Or if I would like explain it more in a proper way, it's more of like, for example, if you're a dude and your pee-pee couldn't get angry, they would always say it's because the girl is this and that and this. It's the girl's problem. That's why they couldn't function. And sometimes I was like thinking, is it really? Because I feel like if you have the mentality, especially if you're young, unless you have problems with hormones and something like underlying condition, I don't think it's impossible for a young dude to not work. It's either insecurity, mental problems, physical, and all of these things, and that's why I'm telling you guys, having fitness in your life is always going to be a benefit. It always does. So I don't know. It's just I think we humans are just really good at doing shitty things. The more shittier it is, the more we're more kind of like magnetized on that, more on the good that it could be done. So I think, when it comes to sexual dysfunction in a relationship, I feel it's more of like an inward, like yourself problem. There's something wrong with yourself, not with your partner. So in life, I also feel the same way. If your life is not going according to your plan or our plan or my me plan, then there's something that I need to change. There's something that the formula is not there. So I have to explore. It's the same thing with everything. That's why fitness is very important because that's your practice. You can have fitness in your life by yourself. You don't need a workout buddy. In this time and age, all you have to do is like open Instagram. You can see a bunch of workouts over there. But if you want to do it right, stay with me. In the Philippines, they sell in 7-Eleven store Robust. My friends are crazy. They said it is amazing. And the thing is with that, like if you couldn't function, there's a lot of, alternatives. Like just be careful. Just be very careful with the alternatives. But with fitness, it's all organic. You can just do it by yourself. If you have questions on your own personal fitness journey or something that you think is you lack or what's wrong with this, you cannot think of it, it doesn't mean that you don't know shit. I ask questions. I love to ask questions. Sometimes I ask dumb questions just because sometimes there's no dumb questions for me. Sometimes I just don't know, if it's real or not. From last month, I'm taking vitamins with minerals and ginseng. Is it ginseng or ginseng? And this what happened 3 times a day was not enough. Why is that? I wish I'm a nutritionist so I can definitely pinpoint what's wrong. But when it comes to supplements, they always have like a dietary, like how much you are getting. But this is what I always recommend. When it comes to supplements, always talk to your nutritionist because sometimes supplements are not regulated and it could be bad if it's too much, especially if you have underlying diseases or conditions and stuff like that. That's why when it comes to supplements and taking vitamins, there are generic ones that are actually harmless if you take them a lot or take them every day. But there's also supplements that are very, very harmful, especially if it's something that you have an underlying condition with. So when it comes to supplements, make sure to talk to your doctor about it. What is the benefit of it? And one of the benefits is for a happy life, period. If you can function in your fitness, if you can function physically, then everything is just going to be fine, right? I'm so lost in my own thoughts, guys. Sometimes my brain is just super fast. I couldn't keep up. My own mouth couldn't keep up with my own thoughts. Who gave you flowers? Wow, so many questions, huh? Ayan, my flowers, ayan. My flowers. My birthday flowers. Secret. That's what I'm saying. But for now, I like it. I love flowers, guys. Why you have too much ring? Because I love it. Are my rings real? Like it's silver. It is silver. I don't really like gold. I'm just not into jewelry, period. But if I'm given, of course I'm going to accept it. But I usually just use it on very, very rare occasions. Like right now, I just use these rings for the stream. Or if I go out and, like and share this stream, everyone. Thank you.